all the places I've ever been to, brother. Clearwater is the best place in the world. I gotta tell you, Clearwater is the place for me.
O.W.P. Unscripted. Live, brother.
Live from Clearwater.
How's that?
Live and in your house.
Craig, can you hear us out there on the Twitch side of things?
Yep. All good.
All brother. Love to hear it.
Heck yeah, brother.
Love to hear it.
All brother.
Now we're in trouble.
All brother.
We're live and in your house.
Now
And we'll be giving away a free house on this episode of Unscripted.
So what's
Thanks to
going
10
on?
gifted subs.
Yeah, we're on the we're live on Twitch. We're just kind of testing out the stream. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, watching on YouTube, that's what we're referring to.
They sent me a tiny home from Home Depot.
Follow us on Twitch.
We're not selling our feet on the internet just yet. So stand by.
Twitch might
I'll do it.
See how this goes.
Dude,
We'll see.
I get some nice looking feet. Just saying.
Yeah, man.
Out there.
Yeah, man.
Moderate this from
They're really.
I put my
Nicely
elbow on
wide.
OnlyFans.
Oh no!
It's all about the facial expression. I mean, that's what really sells it. Oh shit, dude. It's fucking hot.
No more.
What's
Make it
the intro offer? Is it like 13% off for the first month, or
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's different.
there's different tiers?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Depending on how much you love elbows.
Fucking love me some elbows, dude. Scabby ones.
Cool.
Whoa!
Apparently we have 4 people watching.
Eczema elbows.
Side.
That's awesome.
Shut up!
everybody.
No, you
About pro
don't.
wrestling. I mean, what just happened last week? The Royal Rumble.
We're gonna talk about pro wrestling.
Wait,
Like,
pro wrestling,
and we have nobody.
And
I know, yeah.
Dude's like, I thought this was about elbows. Seriously, fuck off.
So I was getting really hot by the elbow.
Only fan shit.
Free elbow shows. Sign me up.
I mean, I know we talked about it all week, well, since Wednesday, but I'm still having so much fun with Toni Storm right now. Oh my goodness, she is amazing.
Yeah, Toni Storm.
Her performance. What are we doing?
Yeah, she's great.
Like, how she got all of her opponent's gear all set up for Wednesday and totally did her whole homage in a match the entire time and won that match. And it just played off like everything was fine. Even did an interview as Mariah May after. And Toni Storm just gets it right now. She understands it. The crowd. Is she the best thing in AEW going right now? I feel like she is, at least to me.
I would say I've been feeling
You've
that
been
way
saying
for
it too, right?
almost a year. Like I'm just like, yeah, she's just the best.
Oh, she's great. She's always been good since NXT. I mean, I know before that too, but yeah. Character work.
Well, the talent has always been there, right? It's just the character work has been.
No one's
best
got more
it's ever been for
time
her.
or more leeway to develop the story and to like just tell the tale. And you can tell it's probably all hatched in her head. And maybe she had a long old day with Tony Khan and like went over like the process of it. But like kudos to letting her breathe and letting her do the whole thing. Like it's awesome.
And I don't know if that's indicative of, because I say like everybody else should watch that, like watch her and Christian, for example, and see what they're doing and be like, oh, like that's how you adapt. Because, you know, it's a stark difference from the WWE. Like they're way more produced and AEW apparently is not. And so like you have a lot, but I don't know, like I'm kind of torn. Like as I watch this AEW thing kind of take shape and, you know, like what it's going to become. And I'm almost like torn. Like, does it need more control? Like, because obviously less people get like how to use the freeform than the you know what I'm saying? Like there's very few people that are getting it over there. Everybody else is like, I want to go back. And, you know, but I always say like that happened because WWE got cool and, you know, all that stuff. Like they weren't cool in 2019 and now they're cool. So now everybody wants to go back there. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. AEW needs to change, obviously, and if Tony Khan's the final say, he is the worst final say. But at the same time, like he allows Toni Storm. I don't care what anybody says. The Death Riders are fine. They're boring right now because you don't have a face or a face faction chasing them and challenging them. You just have them doing the same shit every week. But I don't think that the Death Riders are failures. And I know that a lot of people disagree. And a lot of people are like, they're boring, they're done, pull the plug. And I'm like, pulling the plug abruptly is what you don't do when you're trying to learn how to tell stories from beginning, have a middle, have an end. And I just think that they're fine, like the Death Riders, but they have no answer for them, which is not fine. And if you've learned anything from Sting's rise, is if you need a rise, you need this anti whatever you're trying to go against, the anti NWO, you need it and you build it and then you pay it off and don't fuck it up like WCW did. So like WCW has already laid the groundwork for you. If you have a face that gains traction and he's getting cheered up against this heel faction, that's what you build. And then you get everyone thinking for a while, like when they finally get a hold of him, it's going to be great.
And they're trying to do it with they're trying to do it with Cope and those guys. I don't know if that's working.
I'm sorry, who?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the other thing. This is what I tried to talk to Craig about this, but I don't think it made sense. This made me so mad. They had this great sequence in the beginning of Dynamite. Just incredible work throughout where everybody was getting their stuff in, crowd's going nuts. And then Cope goes, "Hey man, why don't you give me a title shot in Australia?" And Mox is like, "Yeah, no." And it was great. And they could have ended it there. Like, okay, well then how about we do a tag match, blah, blah, blah. And then nobody gives an answer. And we're like, well, is it happening or is it not happening? And then the commentators go, well, I guess that's what's going to happen to Australia. I'm like, what the fuck? No one said yes. No one's saying shit. No one did anything. I'm like, how do you fuck this up? Like, how do you have this great sequence and then you fuck it up like that?
Because there is no control. That's the thing, is there is no control.
They don't have any structure to what they're doing. We've talked about this before on the pod, but like AEW, like it's a great thing that they have the flexibility and the kind of the room to kind of breathe and develop their characters.
Sure.
And kind of experiment. Obviously, the wrestling is great, but the problem that they always fall into is that they don't have any structure of story. So it's like they'll do something one week and then the next week there's no cohesion. It's not even they're not even telling long-term or short-term stories. They're telling like weekly stories that don't connect to the next week, and so it seems jumbled and like disconnected. And so you don't have any long-term structure of story for them to work within. So it just seems like they get like the talent gets bored from week to week and leaves the audience, and the audience is left kind of like, with their pissing in the wind, like.
And it's good to say I'm the begin all end all. Like Vince was the begin all end all, right? But the thing about Vince is like at the end of it, he might even have let people at times. I mean, I know towards the end of Vince's reign, he was very produced and structured, like in a bad way. Right. But like, it's good to say that I'm the begin all end all, but what Vince did that was so unique was he made a decision. So he allowed them to fill in the blanks, like in the circle, and stay within the circle. And then he's like, that's awesome, but you're losing and you're going over. And that's it. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't matter if they liked it or not. He's like, no, I said that's it. Tony Khan's like, well, maybe you should go over. I don't want to go over. You don't have to go over. Yeah. And then so Tony backs off. Like, and so every week he lets everybody get what they want instead of looking at the story going, no, in the long-term storytelling, this person should go over. That should happen. This should happen to progress everything. Instead, he's like, whatever. I don't want no problems. Like that's what I feel. That's what he does.
It's just also if you look at. Go, Joe.
If you look at what, like during the bad years of WWE, what were they doing? They were changing their mind every other week. Vince
it's very similar.
Somebody would throw out an idea in a meeting, and Vince like, we're doing that. And he's like, well, we have 3 months of storyline. Where he's like, nope, we're changing. Like as good as like it is to have like a final decision, Vince sometimes would get distracted, and I think that caused the period that like that everybody looks poorly on, especially that end year where they're changing the title every week or every other week. There's no cohesion because Vince
smells of desperation, right?
Yeah, well, like Vince, I mean, he was either shitting on somebody or chasing shiny objects from place to place in the as people are throwing out ideas, and he's like, no, let's do that. It's fine. I'm the final say. We're going to do that. And then there's no structure from week to week. And obviously when the Triple H comes in, now there's structure for months and months and months on end.
And long-term storytelling. Yeah.
And what's the Australian thing called? Is it Fighter Fest?
Grand Slam?
Grand Slam. So that's also been a debacle. So there's a guy who does the one who does the podcast with Stevie Richards. And I believe he's either lives in England or he's from England or whatever. So he is like really critical of AEW. I guess this whole Grand Slam thing's been a fucking disaster. And they've misled people, and they started out in a stadium, and then they switched it to a smaller venue because they only sold like 10,000 tickets, which is fine. But like when you're in a stadium, that's not fine. So they switched it, and I guess so to rotate everyone's tickets over, they fucked everybody because so many people who paid for certain seats, like in floor seats or in the front row, it's different when you're in a smaller theater, or a smaller venue. And so they're pissed off. And on top of that, he never committed. Like a month ago, he did a podcast, Tony Khan, and said, and he kept alluding to it being a pay-per-view. But you want to know what it is? It's Collision. That's all they're doing. Like, really? I guess everybody's pissed. And so, this whole Mariah May, Tony Storm, the Death Rider tag that Dave alluded to, and all that. Yeah, all that is fucking for an episode of Collision, not when you're hearing this today, but a week from today.
I didn't know that.
That's all it is. And so people are fucking pissed. Like they didn't try to do anything cool. Like, hey, this is going to be a 3 or 4 hour thing. You're going to see it on Max, and you're going to see it on TBS or TNT. It was on TNT. I don't remember what Collision's on. It's one of the two. And then stay tuned only on Max afterwards for the next 2 hours, and you get exclusive shit on Max. They didn't even try to do that. Tony Khan was just non-committal about what this was going to be, whether it was going to be a pay-per-view or a supercard or whatever it was, or only on Max streaming or whatever, and they didn't even take advantage of it. Nobody still knows to this day, and we're a week away, nobody knows what it is. Like if it's just going to be Collision, if they're going to have it live on Max, like you're going to be able to watch the regular 2 hour Collision, and then like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Isn't it just like the Max launch too, Jess? Like straight up the Max launch, like we were always alluding to it, and he never gave definitive answers. And all of a sudden, I was on Max on New Year's Day, and it was there. I'm like, I didn't know it was starting today. Like it was a Wednesday. Like. And I was like, it was the worst launch as far as like, I don't get it. Like, it's weird.
I will say, I think Jess, everything you said is correct about them having to downsize, and it's been not kind of a failure from what they want it to be. The opportunity for them is that it's that there's no set start time because it's going to run exactly right after the All-Star Skills Challenge, which is like one of the biggest nights for TNT. It's like the slam dunk contest and the 3-point shootout. So that should get some heavy male eyeballs and NBA audience watching a pay-per-view quality event. But you're right. A cluster from last year when they pitched it as that like in that cricket stadium or whatever, or that Aussie Rules stadium that said 85,000. It was like, no.
That's not happening. The male fans from the basketball after that.
We'll see. Your opening contest. Yeah.
And on the flip side, I kind of want to segue into the Royal Rumble because Royal Rumble was last week. And I have we can pick apart AEW and they have problems. But also what I think is wrong with today's wrestling fans, and it's so evident right now. And I was exactly like this in my teens and 20s, by the way. So I am familiar with this behavior, and I just changed as you get older as a wrestling fan and you choose to continue to watch this.
Nice.
In your 30s and 40s, you start to appreciate more. I mean, really, when TNA started, like, and this is the years when it wasn't fun to be a TNA fan, like 02, 03, 04, when it was just trying to get it. I love competition. I've always loved that. And that's when I started maturing as a wrestling fan. The problem is when the wrestling gets popular like it is now, and especially WWE's on fire, like you get like WWE fans, they're like snakes. They're like, well, right. That's what I'm saying is like, but it's all these teens and 20-year-olds that are saying it right now. Like you need to know the difference. And unfortunately, there is no answer. It's like your parents telling you something, right? If something bad happened to you in high school, you broke up with a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and then you think it's the fucking craziest thing that's ever going to happen to you in your life. But your parents smile. They're like, oh, you're going to learn as you get older. The high school years, you need to just relish in it, enjoy it, like, because you're going to realize it wasn't important at all, really. Like, like all your drama and your teen drama and all that. Right. And you're like, whatever. And nobody could tell you anything. Then when you get older, Then when you get older in your 40s, you realize that they were right. I just couldn't be told that. I didn't want to hear that when I was that age. But wrestling fans are the same way, right? When I was 20, you guys had to put up with me. I was a violent Hogan fan. And like, I loved him. And like, so it didn't matter. We all were just fucking cheering in our fucking teens and 20s. And, you know, it didn't matter. We get arguments with each other. And the thing is if they didn't run a company the way we thought they should, as teens and 20s, by the way, what the fuck do we know? Like, we got mad. We said they were doing it wrong. So here's the thing. And some people are even nitpicking the Toni Storm thing, going, it made no sense that she masqueraded herself as Toni Storm. I was like, listen, you can't nitpick the good stuff, right? Like when it's good, you cannot like who wins or loses, but that doesn't mean it's not good. And that's the problem. Wrestling is so swollen right now with casual fans and younger fans, which is awesome for the future of the business. But teens and 20-year-olds don't fucking know the difference between I don't like this just because my favorites didn't win versus I don't like it because it's bad TV. You can not like Jey Uso winning the fucking Royal Rumble all you want, and that's fine. But you cannot tell me that it wasn't a great moment, that it's not produced well, that they're not fleshing characters out. You can't fucking tell me that because you're lying. Like WWE is on fire, telling you the best stories possible. You may not like certain things, and that's okay, but you should tune in the next week to see if your favorite does win the next week. Now, all the other things that we just listed about AEW are valid points. Not producing things right, not advertising things right, not connecting storylines. That's fair to critique, but don't critique the Toni Storms and the Jey Uso things, which are the best things going in wrestling today. Don't critique the CM Punks and the Drew McIntyres, which are the best things going today.
Easily.
Like, you may not like the fact that CM Punk didn't win the Royal Rumble, but it doesn't mean it was bad. There are some idiot fans just going, oh, they've fallen off the edge. Triple H has lost control. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you just don't like the characters who win. There's a difference between bad wrestling promotion and you just don't like them doing what you do because you don't like someone. That doesn't mean they're doing it wrong. Look around you. They just put 65,000 people in a fucking dome for a Royal fucking Rumble.
Not even
they're not doing it right.
It
sucks. Are you sure? Are you sure it sucks? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, wrestling fans are so insufferable sometimes. I can't stand them. But I was the same way.
That's why I left.
Can I jump in real quick and just say that I didn't like Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble.
That's fine, which is fine.
That's okay.
Which is fine. I have no problem with that.
But
he wasn't my pick either. But at the same time, like, I'm like, okay, like, yeah,
dude, I get it.
He's fucking over. Like, you can't deny.
No, well, he's got that.
I'm not saying you're denying it, Joe. I'm not saying you're denying, but
here's the thing. Looking at it from
you're turning red.
Well, you look at it from the casual aspect, right? When Jay came on Monday Night Raw and that ovation for him and him falling into the tears, I'm like, he's connected more than any other individual wrestler in the world right now to fans. And I'll tell you something else. My wife was telling me this story because we actually saw Jey Uso win the Intercontinental title in Ontario. We saw it live. Nobody fucking left when it was over, guys. I'm telling you right now, nobody left the building when he won. He stayed in the crowd and he sat on the stairs and he interviewed him from the stairs off TV. And people were yeeting,
I think,
for fucking 15 minutes after it happened.
Is Jay and Cody versus heel Cody?
There were no cameras.
Because I have a lot to say on the heel Cody thing too. That's not happening.
That's not happening.
I don't think it's happening.
There's no way.
See that match happen.
And I don't.
He's going to beat Gunther. It's going to be Gunther, and that's it.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to be Gunther. Like he's not. He's
just going to fight for the TV title. It's fine. It's all fine. Yeah. Like, why is everyone getting all mad?
You don't think you could. You don't hard turn Cody, but you can make him a heel for this feud up until WrestleMania, and then either have it end and then or no.
You don't even do that. No,
I don't think so. So they're not going to mess with Cody just yet.
This is my opinion. If they end up turning Cody heel, am I going to say they're doing it wrong? Maybe, to my opinion. But am I going to say the product's bad? No. Like, because it's gonna be good. like, if they do turn Cody heel, it may not be what I want to see.
Cody is heel at Mania, and that's exactly what's happening, Jeff.
And it would be, and if it does happen, it's going to be great. By the way, if it does,
I'm actually secretly hoping that the product does kind of get turned to shit in the next year or so prices will go back down.
Tickets go down.
I'd like to go to WrestleMania again, but I don't want to have to take out a fucking mortgage against my house.
Operation go to WrestleMania. Yeah.
I don't want to donate a kidney fucking to go. Yeah.
I was watching somebody else's podcast, and they made a great point. They were like, so you guys are crazy to like, they were talking about people, being mad at the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. And they were like, you guys are crazy. Like, Cody's never going to turn heel. They can't do it right now. He makes too much goddamn money as a babyface. But they're like, but they're like, this, you're seeing this edge that's put on it. That's why people are saying that Cena's going to win the Elimination Chamber, or this particular person said that, because they're like, John Cena is Cody. And it was, we were not ready for it. We have 50-50 booed him back in, 06, 07, 08, 09, because we were just tons. Sure. Cody is over. They're like, the fact that he isn't 50-50 booed at this point means that Triple H has conditioned the audience to cheer for the baby faces and boo for the heels. And I mean, we all know, especially me, that Drew McIntyre is the baddest motherfucker on the TV, but they boo him because like Drew McIntyre is doing a great job and everybody follows their role.
It doesn't mean the merch doesn't sell either, just to your point.
When wrestling is over and it's being done right, you fall in your role. You might like Drew McIntyre, or back in the day, I always go, we saw a house show when The Rock got mega over, like he was a heel. Mm-hmm. And I remember the second we heard, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? We popped so fucking loud, and the second he walked out, we instantly knew our role, and we started booing him because he reacted to our boos. And so we're like, we want this. And he got on the mic and he called us trash and like everything else he could call us or whatever. Like, yeah, and we were laughing and rolling and booing him because we made it. And every time he tagged in, we booed loud and he would refuse. So shut up. Like, and we wanted that. But when his music hit, everybody popped. Everyone's like, fuck yes, The Rock's coming out. Like, and so that's how you could not like certain people to win or lose, but you cannot say that Triple H is not doing a good job. When
the fact that they have created an old school like 1980s, early 90s white meat babyface that is not getting booed, that the audience is like buying into, to me is an unbelievable feat. I've actually thought as a wrestling fan that the days of like good versus evil, heel versus, was like
was
that
over.
The lines had been that was over, that the lines had been blurred so much over the years that like it just wasn't going to happen. And part of that was even Roman's reign. Like Roman was the bad guy, but he was getting cheered nonstop. Now you have like a straight up babyface in the old school 1980s way, and he's more over than anybody.
And I love that everybody's guessing, and they're freezing the video. They're like, he's turning heel here, and I'm like, he's not. Like what the person said on the podcast, and I fell for it, and I was like, this is going to be great. They're like, Cena is him, so Cena is going to teach him a lesson. He's going to win Elimination Chamber, and he's going to challenge Cody, and Cena might even edge on the heel side. But the whole thing that Cena's going to do is Cena's going to show him, I didn't turn heel when everybody wanted me to turn heel. When everyone was booing me, I still stayed steadfast. I still was like, nope, I'm a baby face. I'm going. He's going to teach Cody that is the right way to do it. And that's the lesson that he's going to bring into WrestleMania. So Cena will lose, like to Cody, but he will be like, now you have completed your journey. Now you understand. It doesn't matter how much stress you have. It doesn't matter how many people get down on you. It doesn't matter. You still keep going on your course. You are living your legacy. Do not deviate. Don't give in to just like a Jedi. Don't give in to hate.
If they want Cena to win, he's going for Gunther. If they want
Cena's not winning though.
Possibly. They might make Cena. The beautiful thing is it doesn't matter. I may not want something to happen, but if he ends up beating Cody and it's Cody and Cena at Mania, fine. To give him his last run or whatever. Because I can't see Cena not getting a last title run. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe Cena does. Maybe Cena says I don't want the last run. I don't need it.
I don't see him wanting it. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't.
Month to win it. I don't know.
This is the same guy that wanted to keep that got the shit kicked out of him from Brock after Brock beat the streak because that's what was best for business. I see.
We saw that live, Jess.
I mean, him doing a title run would be, awesome for Cena, but it's not what's best for business. And
what would that run be like? It's like he would be ending Roman Reigns and Cody's storyline, which it's all connected, right? Yeah. He would be ending that just to say, I'm champion one more time. And I don't feel that Triple H will do that again.
He's not. And Cena's not that guy.
You never know.
If he does do it, I'm sure it's going to be great because I trust the product and I trust the process.
Honestly. If they want to do it just so they can be like, we broke Rick's record, how we thought maybe they were going to try for Hogan's with Roman, but maybe either Cena or I guess Randy. Randy's what, 15 now? 15-time champ?
Yeah.
maybe. So maybe they let him break it. They're gonna have someone try to break that number.
Yeah.
As far as that,
I never thought of the Cena Cody thing, and I never thought of Cena winning. And it's like I want Cena to break the record. I don't think it should be at Mania over.
And I don't think they would bring both them baby faces in. Like, you don't want to like, unless it's storyline heavy. You don't want to like and I know Joe's had a lot of critique, and I've agreed with Joe's critique for the most part about how like Cody, he's defended against people that we know will never beat him. Yeah. Like AJ and Shinsuke and all that stuff. But at the same time, like you also don't want to put him directly in the ring with another babyface and to get him booed. And you're going to. Like, they made that mistake with Diesel. They've made that mistake with other champions where it's like Diesel wins a title and then he takes on Brett. And I'm like, well, now you split your audience. Like, you shouldn't do that.
Joined the chat and he said, dang, are you guys seeing all these releases? So I guess we're not seeing something.
Oh, why you look that up? Why you look that up?
Like, John Cena got released, Cody got released. I'm like, what the fuck?
I also don't see
Randy
Drew McIntyre. Like they're all.
Randy's a 14-time champion, by the way. Randy's 14-time. He'll never get to 17. Just so you know, he'll never get there.
I don't see Triple H. I don't see Triple H allowing anybody to break Flair's record. I think that he's like, he's too into Flair, and he's too like respect for Flair. Well, what he did for the business, that he's going to protect that legacy. No one will ever beat Flair.
If he does, though, he'll have Charlotte do it.
Right.
That's actually
like that's the only thing. That's the only thing I can see. Like, have another Flair.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody on the men's side. Nobody on the men's side does it.
AOP.
Are you? Oh, seriously? I saw Cedric Alexander so far. Paul Ellering.
AOP, but Crocs is so over. That storyline's so over, cuz that's weird. What a shocker.
I mean, you don't need them.
What a fucking shocker.
It's been him without them. So
we're having live releases right now. My penis is hard. So what else are we doing here? We're live, like, while this is happening.
WWE and a lot of the talent are
28 minutes ago. Authors of Pain
songs.
Tony Khan has bought WWE. The Khan family has adopted the WWE.
What the fuck? There's a clip from SmackDown of Drew and LA Knight looking like they were actually just fucking legitimately punching each other in the face. Oh shit!
How do you not figure out what to do with AOP? How do you not figure that out? I just can't.
Yep, Cedric Alexander, he was in it.
That's the one thing I just don't.
He got released.
Cedric?
Yeah.
Didn't he just
Cedric got released too?
Oh no! Did they get rid of Apollo Crews too? Or wait, what?
No, it was Cruz. It was Cruz. So I was thinking of Cruz. Cruz got
they let go of him too. Yeah.
They let go of him too. Okay, I see Cedric. I don't see Cruz yet, but
I think I read Cedric earlier today.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He Instagrammed on it himself.
I mean, that's the end of my sentence.
They got a lot of talent. They got TNA.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They're all talented.
The AOP thing, I was like, I can't. It's just like Lashley and stuff too. Like,
you get too bloated, and you have to let people go, and it's healthy for the independents.
That's fair.
Tony Khan will just throw money at them and bring them aboard, and then not do anything with them. So either way, they're going to get paid.
Right.
Yeah. I was just talking about earlier.
It's always healthy to move on and learn a new hold, as Jim Ross says. You got to learn a new headline.
They didn't mention if Paul Ellering was actually released, so I don't know. I wonder if he's still going to.
I'm seeing that like 11 minutes ago.
They let go of AOP, but keep him. He's like, yes.
He's all, we're in the ninth. We're in the 8th inning.
Legion of Doom.
He's all, according to about endings by getting rid of
46 minutes ago by Sean Rose Sapp, because. Sean Rose Sapp 46 minutes confirmed it. Sean Rose Sapp confirmed it 46 minutes ago on Twitter.
AOP?
Talk about SRS?
No, Paul Ellering.
Oh,
but AOP too, yeah.
Okay.
SRS just
he's on never mind. We're in the
AOP.
I didn't understand Paul Ellering anyway. I didn't get it.
He was always with them in NXT. He was their manager since NXT.
No, I understand, but it's like, come on, man. The fact that he outlived LOD from the get doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, that sounds terrible, Ben.
Are you trying to say conspiracy, Dave, that he
killed him?
I'm saying a lot of things. Paul's like, he's 71 years old. What are we doing? What are we doing?
It's not a whole lot yet. So I wonder, are there more releases to come, or is that it? I guess that's it, right?
The way PLEs are going, when you have only 4 to 5 matches of PLE, I don't know how you don't cut more fat if you're.
That's so annoying, though. Like that's the least my least favorite part. It's super fucking annoying. I'm not saying have 12 matches.
You can't get one more match on the card. You can't get one more.
You could saying that, but you can easily squeeze in 1 to 2 more matches if every entrance wasn't 9 minutes long.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble was 4 fucking hours. The Royal Rumble was 4 fucking hours long. You couldn't have had a 5th match at least, like to kind of break things up. The men's Royal Rumble needed to be 8 hours. It didn't need to be that long. It's rhetorical.
And honestly, they just bought and they're launched Evolve on Tubi. Which was the
that's right.
deal they were going to do. So they're just opening up a whole new,
They own that whole umbrella, like that whole company that it has like Dragon Gate USA Wrestling. It has Evolve. It has a couple other like promotions, but they've had it on the network, like all the old stuff, the catalog. It's been on there for a while.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Like
it's going to be the NXT Black and Gold again. Well, that's going to be. That's going to be awesome. Did anyone ever verify or confirm? Well, I'm sure we're never going to verify, but about the whole. That Drew was pissed at LA Knight from the Rumble?
I remember hearing that. So nobody confirmed it or whatever, but it was more confirmed
that Rumble early.
That it was LA Knight. But see, so I did watch that segment on there, and it did look a little. It looked a little wonky, and yeah. So like Logan, I thought maybe he was more mad at Logan, but I guess when Logan stood up after he did that little like fisherman's kind of suplex to Uso. He stood up and posed for the camera, which seems to me that like that was supposed to happen. And then LA Knight got behind him and started stalking him, like looking, trying to make that shot, like that production shot. And then right behind him, like Drew McIntyre and who was that? Punk?
And Priest.
Drew, Punk, and Priest were doing like a triple whip to the ropes, and then one of them ducked out, and then Drew went over, and then the camera kind of missed it, but then caught it right at the end, and then the announcer even had to go, "Oh my God, Drew just got eliminated." So it looked like the timing was off, like on that. That all of it was supposed to happen. Like Drew was supposed to be eliminated by Priest and all that, but like I guess like
they hit you this year.
Yeah, LA Knight didn't grab like. So either they were mad at Paul for posing too long, or LA Knight for making a big like stalking motion behind him, and then they stayed in the middle, and then Drew hit them when they came. So like LA Knight got hit in the back, and then I guess that fucked everything up. But I mean, why get mad at that?
It not to be a spot
yet, though.
It has to be a work because they put LA Knight and Drew in a triple threat match tonight on purpose, and at the beginning, LA Knight says, "Oh wait, I forgot to get my stuff in," and then the camera panned at Drew, and he just smiled and looked down at the ground.
That's fantastic.
Really? Yeah, so they're probably just like Michael Cole. I thought she wasn't coming back. The internet, Alexa Bliss wasn't coming back. Like,
it could have been. Well, it could have been he was pissed and they put it into a work. I mean, because WWE knows how to make money.
And you know what? The weird thing is like even when wrestling's at its most popular, why do they insist on punching down? Just don't bring up the fucking dirt sheets. That audience is 1% of your normal audience. Like
they don't care about it. They don't even know what you're talking about.
Like,
having fun.
Like you're gonna teach people a lesson. Like the people that do believe the internet are gonna be like, you know what? I've been put in my place. No, like it doesn't ever. It just fuels them more. Like, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, Triple H mentioned us," or
he's like having fun now. Michael Cole doesn't give a shit. He's like, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, like I mean, at that point, like they're just kind of throwing them a bone, like, oh yeah, we'll throw one to the internet, and like get them all riled up, let them know that we're
we're thinking about it.
Well, yeah, so that like I'm sure that they're that they push their. That they keep
very special. You need to go home. But you're very special.
They support other dirt sheets in today's dirt sheets. Like all these streamers that always live watch it and all that stuff. They're always at their press conferences now. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like they support a different form of it. They just approve it. Like and it's like
show speed on there. What a waste.
That's why almost every question is a fucking. Every question is a fucking snowball like question. It's like right down the middle. It's easy.
Yeah, so if I could interject to someone going back to AOP real quick. So Jess, your best friend, joined the chat. Goomby Boomby said they got the ball against AOP. They put on bangers at NXT. The next thing he said, they are professionals, unlike those Bucks. So you have a Young Bucks hater in the chat, right?
Good. I love it. I do love you.
Yes.
Hey, you know what though?
I don't know how you make the correlation between the two. Fine. Anytime you want to hang on the Young Bucks, come on over. Let's have a beer together.
Fuck the Young Bucks. I love the club. Back in the day.
I did too. We all did, like back in the day. However, which was a Wednesday. But yeah.
What's that?
It was a good day.
They're awful.
AOP is a fine thing, but. You know what though? It's like AOP to me. You could trade them out with the Viking. I know they're not called the Viking Raiders anymore. What are they? The War Raiders or the something Raiders?
He said he was talking about them. They're professionals, unlike the Bucks. He's talking about LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. If it wasn't if it was a shoot, like if it was legitimately pissed.
Yeah, no.
The point's still 6 though. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was just talking about that.
The
WWE knows how to make money.
You say it anytime you want.
Yeah.
I don't want to make money because I'm mad at him. I can't turn this into money and do business.
We're still on the independent circuit. Man. Go. Shut up.
CM Punk was half.
Tony Khan felt unsafe.
CM Punk was right.
He couldn't do an angle with CM Punk. His life was threatened. This is not real life, guys. Okay, this is entertainment. And Tony Khan knows
Tony was in danger.
His life was in danger.
His life was in danger.
It's all Tony's fault.
Yeah.
Oh
there's making money and then there's doing what's right. What?
Yeah. And,
what did you guys think of the Royal Rumble overall? First of all,
I enjoyed it.
I loved Cody and KO. Jesus Christ!
Great,
We never thought they would be good.
All of it was.
That was by far the best match of Cody's reign.
I liked the tag match, but I thought it should be better. Maybe they're gonna have more matches or whatever. But it was good. It was very good. But I just thought they should.
SmackDown's bangers.
I love it. I'm all here for the tag division.
Yeah, definitely watch SmackDown for that. The worst part is
let's release a tag team while we're at it. Fucking stupid Triple H.
AOP
He's ruining everything. He's ruining everything. He should be fired.
He should be. It's the 10th inning now.
They don't. I don't know. The AOP thing does.
He made Charlotte win, which is a bad choice. I hated the fact that Charlotte won, but I mean, still, I disagree
with Charlotte.
WrestleMania though.
I have a feeling. Yeah, I was going to say I have a feeling that whoever she chooses, Rhea or Tiffy, which it seems like Tiffy, they're going to tear it the fuck up at WrestleMania. So I think we're going to win out on that. Yeah.
I disagree.
Does this set up just so Charlotte passes the torch like she did with Rhea? Does Charlotte lose? I feel like they're all asking
the title off Tiffany.
I mean, they're not gonna Tiffy's hot.
Yeah,
she's white hot right now.
No, you're wrong, Joe. She's divorced. She's rededicated. Charlotte. She's gonna go on a fucking 5-year run.
We'll see though. We'll see how she does. But
I hope so.
I want Tiffy time.
She shed the weight. Get Andrade off my back. He's holding me back.
I am terrible.
Get AOP out of here. They're holding me back. I'm Charlotte.
I hate Charlotte so much. I hate Charlotte. How dare you come back? And I get it. You worked your ass off in rehab. I understand all of that, and that's applauded.
Hard.
I hate Charlotte so much, and I hate her even more as of Saturday.
Did you hear?
How you have the fucking nerve to come back after months and months and win the Royal Rumble? No, there's no way.
But
there's
did you hear what she said? That even if you boo her, she is.
I heard her come out and cut a promo that didn't go any way the way it was supposed to. She was supposed to be in tears, and the crowd was booing her the entire time. She had to turn.
All disgusting people.
That's fine.
You're disgusting.
She's a pro.
Just trash.
Nobody likes you. Go away.
I'm always gonna be.
Nobody likes you.
What I really felt about
super talented though, super talented.
Yes, very talented. She really
was super talented. She's not as good as the top 5-10 women anymore.
But I hope she gets released and never works again. But she's so talented. She's great. She's really good. But the worst. What this Rumble it reminds me all the time about. I've said it before. And this era of WWE reminds me so much of the 80s, because it's storyline driven and everything. And it's just more like there was nothing super flashy. Yes, we had spots that we stood up. I do like Triple H for the fact that he doesn't rely on the pops and the surprises. Do we hype ourselves up going into the Rumble thinking there's going to be 8 surprises and there's one? Yeah. But it's I like the fact that he tries to use everybody on the roster. It's all the people that are current, right? Why would you not hype your current product? What Vince fell into a long time before.
For the men, there was two surprises. Speed was one, and I think I personally Speed was the Brock Lesnar spot. That's what I believe it was.
And Joe Hendry was awesome to see. I'm so glad that was
nice.
Awesome, man.
The worst. Nikki Bella was just as bad as the iShow Speed.
She got a big pop though. It's crazy. She got a really big pop. And Alexa Bliss's pop was fucking amazing, wonderful. That was awesome.
Well, that's what that's what everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see Alexa, and that was the one that we definitely got duped on because we heard contract disputes were an issue. And
I thought she wasn't.
Either they worked it out.
"Oh my God, the dirt sheet says you can come back."
Yeah, but I guarantee you too. If Punk wins, what the fuck would Punk need to win? If John Cena won, of course John Cena wins. Jey Uso wins, they're like, this is dumb. I'm like, what? Then who did you want to win? I don't know. That's right. You don't know. Shut up. Watch the program.
It's a pretty brilliant,
quiet.
How fast everything moves.
For Trip to because there's no one backstage that can say Jey Uso has a problem with Jey Uso winning. So there's none of the behind this or insiders or athletes or whatever.
But not even that. You have this 1% of audience that are just like, we didn't want him to win, so it's wrong. And then you watch his reception on Raw on Monday and SmackDown, and that motherfucking building shook. So you can say whatever you want. Just like you said whatever you wanted about Hogan, just like you said whatever you wanted about, Austin and The Rock. Like there were some people that didn't like them, like in their primes. And I'm like, you guys... when they make a building move, I think if I ran a company, I'd probably lean more towards that too. Yeah. Like I'd probably.
I think he answered all the critics that night, like really quickly. Like,
oh, he did.
I mean, he's gonna be. He's gonna be number two in. He's got to be number 2 in merch sales. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got to be.
He might even be number 1. Shit, he might be number 1.
Yeah,
he's had weeks where he was number 1, like weeks at a time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I shared that NXT video in the chat from the show from like 2011 or whatever. When it's just crazy to see them from that to now. Look at Jay. Used to come out to doing the Samoan dance, all that dance. That what do they call it?
I liked it when the Usos did that. Yeah, I liked it.
And then it goes into the
I'm on top.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
Man, that was actually a banger right there.
Yeah,
I just love when they chanted Uso in the beginning, and then the fireworks came down. Like, woo!
Yeah,
I can critique other things, right? Like I felt that I didn't understand why the New Day wasn't in the Rumble. I didn't understand there was a lot of people that were not in the Rumble. I didn't understand why Gunther wasn't physically there. He wasn't, right? I didn't see Gunther physically there at all.
I never saw him.
I think showed him walking.
There was a dude that made a good point. Why wasn't Gunther in the Rumble to secure his own victory?
Not even in the Rumble. No, I don't. Not even in the Rumble.
That would have been a cool idea.
Oh,
yeah.
I think
Brock already did that.
I think
Brock did that already.
I think he actually.
That's what they said, but it's like, dude, though, what if he tried to do the same thing? That would have been fun. Like, I don't know. Put him in there. What's the problem?
But Tiffy time, if this is the event that's going to shape WrestleMania, why wasn't Tiffy there? Why wasn't Gunther there? A bigger part. I'm not saying interfere. I'm just saying be it commentary or just be seen in the luxury boxes, watching. They didn't. I get irritated at stuff like that. However, there's so much talent. I get it, and they only put 4 fucking matches in a 9-hour card. I'm like, there's so many things that they could have done differently that I feel. That's just my legit critique. But what we saw. How is it not produced well? How is everything not done really well? You didn't know who was going to the Rumble. You don't like not knowing. You wanted someone that you thought you saw a mile away. I mean, yes, some storylines like Cody, you probably should telegraph a mile away because it pays off and you see the money that Cody's bringing in and how over he is. However, not everything. I like when I don't know. I like that I legitimately thought Punk was just going to win. I did.
Yeah.
But at the same time.
That's what I thought. Cena or Punk.
Yeah. And then it happened. I'm like, okay.
By the way, you got to pay those bills, Jess. It's very important. My wife took a tally during the Rumble, and she probably missed some. She counted 27 advertisers for the Rumble. By the way,
they're making some dough.
So you got to make time for that.
Good for the wrestler.
Unless you pay extra like Jess, you don't have to see the commercials. You get to see great packages instead of the commercials. But even outside of the commercials, there was literally 3 different advertisers on the mat. There was advertisers in the corner the entire time. And then there was promos in between brought to you by Snickers and whoever. It was 27, 28 advertisers.
And they
what you're talking about, I don't know because I just see I see high packages, so I don't know. I'll let you Pores talk about this. I just
you got that Netflix and that VPN, so you got no ads. Nothing.
Yeah, Joe saw none of that, right? Joe.
Whatever.
Same here, yeah.
Oh well,
I'm going to prison.
I had premium Peacock anyways, but.
Ooh. Yeah, Joe. Well, Joe, you're out of country. You don't need to worry about that. So
prison.
You know what's cool about the VPN is you only pay
everything.
You only pay for the cheapest version of Netflix, and you still get the high definition and the no ad version of it too.
Really? I didn't know that.
I'm only paying for the $7.99 one, and I get the no ads. I get the higher.
Well, when you're in prison, I'll ask you how all that worked out. When you're in prison,
I guess you're gonna have to arrest the. I'm not gonna say the company, because they don't sponsor us, but you're gonna have to arrest the company that provides the VPN, which is actually legal. That charge you a subscription.
You can't protect them. They're going to be brought to justice, because don't worry. They're going to be brought.
Real American beer versus cruise.
I don't know, Jack. I don't think it's gonna work out, brother.
So I will say overall, like I didn't. A lot of the last like WWE like pay per
Why the
views.
fuck he's cutting a promo like that on me on Netflix, brother? You let him do that under your podcast. You let him do that, brother, Jack.
I haven't. I admittedly though, I haven't been blown away by a WWE pay per view since WrestleMania, and I mean blown away.
Oh,
like. There's been good stuff, and what was the pay per view after?
Rumble is the best one since like
Backlash in France. That one,
those little
yes. So that one with AJ and Cody, that was awesome. I love that whole event. SummerSlam, I felt underwhelmed. Survivor Series, I felt underwhelmed. Royal Rumble, I was fine. Everything's fine. Like I don't. Again, like this is why it reminds me of the '80s. How many reviews have we done of '80s pay per views and early '90s where we're like, I mean, they advanced a lot of storylines. Like there was no bangers or whatever. And like, I don't know, besides Cody and KO, I don't think there was any bangers.
Cody and KO was awesome. That actually rejuvenated my
insane.
interest in watching a Cody match. I
love the psychology of it too.
I really had no interest in watching it. I was like,
was a great match.
Whatever. Like I'm so bored with Cody, and then watching it, I'm like, oh, that shit was good.
I kind of get the sense they don't really like each other either. Like that they're that like, but total pros. But like there's the tension with those guys is real. I love it.
It's fucking great, dude.
I know the psychology. The psychology wasn't like, hey, let's do all this flippy stuff or jumping off the ladders all the time or whatever. It was like, the psychology was just like, let's do these brutal bumps on things we're gonna shouldn't be taking bumps on, like the suplex onto the little steel bars, like when you open up the A-frame ladders that has a little like bars. He fucking suplexed Cody on the floor through those. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then the backdrops. That looked horrible.
Kevin
and the Alabama Slam
always does that one.
It's funny. The Alabama Slam was the safest bump that KO took because, like, you could tell it was slow enough, like, to where he could adjust, and he did he sold it by just laying on his back with his legs over or whatever. But like, it was fast enough to be like, "Oh shit, that was brutal." But I was like, "It's so funny."
Out of all the ladder, right?
Yeah, out of all the other bumps I saw in the match, that was the safest one, but it was the most spectacular one, which is awesome.
Casuals all over the net were like, he died, right? He died on that. I'm like,
he died when he got backdrop on the fucking ladder, or when he did a fucking what move did he do from the second rope?
The fisherman suplex.
Yeah, on the fucking the ladder with him. Jesus Christ, like that.
Does he not do the best fisherman though off the second rope like that?
KO does the best one. When unfortunately, when he retires, then we're gonna realize the gift that we had of Kevin Owens.
I love him.
I'm missing it right now.
He's just fucking. God damn it, dude! Like he's so amazing.
He did that shit to Cena like a decade ago too. Like people forget that stuff. He was doing that stuff with Cena before he left.
That's where I slowly. That's where I slowly changed. Where I was getting tired of seeing Cena all the time. But when Cena was doing the Open Challenge with the U.S. titles and fighting guys like KO and AJ Styles and Balor and Sammy and
good shit.
I was like, man, Cena.
He got all those guys over, man, on his way out. It's wonderful. Look where they are now.
So that's exactly when I turn the road on Cena too. Is it that U.S. Open Challenge?
Go back and watch the 2013 February.
And then you have to go back though and
Cesaro and
when Cena talks about the stuff in the past of where he was put over all the time, and you start hearing him talk about how it happened and why it happened, and you kind of respect it. He's like, I wasn't gonna go over the boss on it. I still had different ideas, sure, but but then when Brock came to him and said, we're just going to destroy you, me and Stone Cold have this idea. He's like, okay. He's like, cool. And like I said, me, Jess, and I can't remember, someone else was with us, Jess, and then we saw that at SummerSlam. And Joe, we saw that at SummerSlam in 2014 was the year, was it?
Yeah, 2014.
2015.
It was 14, yeah.
Was it?
It was 14.
And I think Cena got one move in, if I recall, the entire match. And we're like, oh no, here comes Super Cena. And then Brock wrecked him again. I was like, oh my God, he's going to really just fucking destroy him.
So loud at the pin. I remember it was like,
it was due.
He's going to come back. He's going to come back. He's going to come back. And then we got pinned. It was like,
yeah.
It was crazy.
But I think Craig talked about it. Like, it's not my night, kid. He's talking about the interview later on where he's like,
Eddie Undertaker's.
He's like, why wouldn't
then that?
Yeah. So he said, oh yeah, it's like you, because it was you or Craig that talked about it. And I remember the interview very well. He's like, if we go 50-50 on this match after you beat the streak, we just wasted all of that. It's not my night. I'm going to get pummeled. I think it's a great idea. Let's do it. And he allowed himself to get totally fried throughout the entire match. I mean, you have to, you're like, okay. And then just talks about it, obviously. Yeah, it just sucks infamously where Cena he got beat on one of his last nights, and you guys I think you saw him live, Justin. He laid in the ring for like 15 minutes.
It was SummerSlam. It was SummerSlam when he lost to Roman, and then Brock returned and F5'd him and just like laid him there.
Yeah, we were in a.
You're like, I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss that guy.
We were leaving the arena, and I looked down, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking miss him when he goes because he was still fucking unconscious. John Cena. Like was just laying in the ring. You think Hogan would ever lay in the ring jobbing?
No.
And like as the crowd files out? No. Like even Austin or The Rock would never do that. Like, and it just kind of like I saw that and I was like, man, like I'm gonna miss him. He
used what was left of his Super Cena stardom and put people over for like 5 years.
Yeah, I truly think we're gonna get heel Cena this next year.
I hope so. That'd be fun.
I think they will. He has nothing to lose at this point.
That's why I'm thinking it's going to be him and Cody, and he's going to actually turn on Cody and be like, I need to show you, like, you know, like what it means to be the position you're in. Like, you don't cave to stress. You don't fall for any of that shit. Like, you just do you. And I think that's like why they're kind of like CM Punk when he came out, he's like, are you okay, man? Like you're faltering a little bit. I think that they're going to, that's just my opinion, that I really agreed with this person who did the podcast. They were like, I think that's what's going to happen. And Cena's going to pass the torch that way. And it's going to be a very deep storyline where Cena passes the torch and he's like, you are the one like that's that cool. Can take it forward.
Is Cena heel from that point on, or he's only heel?
I think that
Cody on the run.
If you could be heel to Cody on the run, and then afterwards Cena could just be like, I had to teach you. I had to show you that, like, look at what it got me. I couldn't win. I couldn't beat you. Like, so look what it got me. That's why I never turned heel years ago, because of the fact that it doesn't work. Like, you're me. Like, I am you. We are the good guys. He won't say those.
Maybe Cody goes into a heel, double turn, and then Cena does the rest of the year true heel.
I think we get it because like how we said, Cena's not doing it for himself anymore. What has everyone always wanted? Let's give them what they want on my last run.
By the way, Cena, they're going to do a whole PLE around Cena. It's called. It's rumored to be Ruthless Aggression is going to be the name of the PLE
in Boston. I think in November it'll be his last event or whatever.
There it is.
Yeah, because they don't really do a PLE in December. So shit, would it be? Because is Survivor Series also in November? Would there be 2 in November? Maybe it would be like a Saturday Night's Main Event kind of thing.
I was going to say it's probably a Saturday Night's Main Event. Maybe
in like a crown jewel in
I think so.
Chamber in WrestleMania or no?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, April, huh?
They're getting Rumble next year or 2 years though.
Yeah, next year.
They're finally getting the Rumble for real.
That's gonna be the Royal Rumble of.
That's gonna suck.
That's gonna suck.
Cuz explain to the audience what is Halloween 3 references.
Oh, because the Halloween 3 movie out of the Halloween series, that's like the one weird one where there's like no Michael Myers. It's just about these weird masks and witches, right? It's like there's like witches in it or something. And it's just
3 more days till Halloween, Halloween. 3 more days till Halloween.
But then you know what the legacy is on that is now that movie has a cult classic because everyone appreciates it for trying to be different.
So
like
in
30
years, everyone's gonna like the Saudi roar for some reason.
Yeah, nobody likes Jason Goes to Hell, and it bothers me.
You wanna break the record for most vinyl in a ring? It's gonna be the Women's Royal Rumble in Saudi. It's most freaking coverage ever.
There you go.
Because they can't show anything. It's gonna be stupid.
Yeah, they're just gonna have a whole blanket over the ring, so you can't.
And it's gonna be like 200 degrees down at the bottom, and all of them are gonna pass out. It's gonna be fucking stupid.
They're gonna be they're gonna be dressed in burqas. You won't even be able to know who won.
They just be like a huge tarp over the ring and
like
just you see this movement like the whole for like 60 minutes.
They're all gonna be holding. They're gonna
and then they bring it up at the end and there's just the winner like waving like and that's it. I'm like, oh okay, that's awesome.
You won't know who wins until the next Monday Night Raw. It's like
we love everybody else's culture, whatever you like.
Yeah. No, it's not even about that. It's like it's just such a disparity between the men and the women, and I hate it. It's the men can come out in their regular stuff. It's fine. Yeah. It's just
I do hate it.
The way they do things in other countries.
I hate it. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
And it is dumb.
Hey, gotta give WWE credit.
I'm sorry. I disagree. I think if they're gonna wrestle, it needs to be dressed up like Power Rangers.
Right.
That's it.
They are red. They look like Power Rangers. It's so dumb.
Hey, you know what? If it wasn't for WWE though, they wouldn't even be. Come
on, power to the women's, man. Power to the women's.
Credit for WWE for allowing it to even.
You gotta do it slowly, right? You can't just throw all the skin at them at once because people will probably pass out like in the crowd. So
yeah,
you
imagine
can't.
they just do attitude era stuff like right off the bat. Like, dude,
You don't want
what we
everybody
talking
held in
about?
custody. You want
The crowd's like, puppies, puppies.
Yeah, I know. If anything, they all just
The prince wouldn't allow the plane to take off, man. They'd all be stuck there
Yeah,
forever.
we're spoiled in America. We see it.
The prince is requesting.
That's true. You're not going nowhere.
No, the prince is requesting that your flight gets canceled and you never leave now.
He wants
The prince will be
Ultimate
requesting,
Warrior,
some
Andre,
decapitations.
and puppies.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
As Tony Storm says.
I wonder if
I'm
they're
gonna
still
rip
making requests like that with those crazy because the rumors were they were asking for Ultimate Warrior versus Savage after both had passed or whatever. Like they're just asking for.
but I mean,
stupid.
do we ever? Yeah.
I wonder if they still are. Like if they.
So, and you know what the funny thing
tells
is?
him, he just like lets it keep going.
You know what the funny
American
thing is?
media
Like,
is the same thing though. They're like, whatever happened to this guy? Like he's dead.
out of all the out of date references that they make or requests that they make or whatever, Hogan has never made a trip over. And you know Hogan would make a trip over in a second to take the payday. And like not once have any of them made like Hulk Hogan, not one time. They have not brought Hogan over there once. Like that's how shitty Hogan's legacy is right now. It's like not even the Saudi Prince. He's like, no, we don't need Hulkamania. No, thank you.
He's got a lot of he's got a lot of bad press.
Goldberg.
Hogan much baggage.
Hogan piece of shit that nobody likes. Piece of crap. Goldberg, yes, he's
He killed journalists, but he's racist. Very racist.
Broken Skull, you're better than American.
Yeah, Hogan draws the line. We
Hogan
don't
can't
cover
even,
up, we don't like journalists, and no, fuck Hogan.
Or
What are we
Hogan
doing?
just comes out and he's like, my brother's in Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother's in Allah.
Oh my god.
Totally goes full on.
He's
Like,
And there's some booing up.
brother.
He would say
he goes full Muslim.
He's all brother. Hey,
he would say the worst. He would say the worst thing. He would.
God damn it! Oh my god!
Oh, brother.
It came out of my nose.
It's an awful human being.
I am a devout Muslim.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
American.
You don't want to tread
Fight
these
for
deserts,
the-
brother.
Fight for the rights
cut
of
the promo for
Allah,
the
my
Rumble next
friend.
year in Saudi. You don't want to come around these deserts, brother.
My friend.
Just go back to Clearwater where you don't have to worry about anything,
brother.
and everybody listens to like you.
No, brother. In the same.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Dave. Tonight at Hogan's Beach Shop, brother. Karaoke, everything else we need. Real American beer.
At
What was the other day?
Better.
The tall can.
I think everybody should come to Clearwater and get brainwashed, brother. That's what I think.
Hogan's Hangout. David
Scientology now, brother.
Yeah,
Our
but
wrestling podcast is going to be broadcasting live from Hogan's Hangout.
I don't know about
Riyadh.
bar stuff. More like all
Riyadh is the Clearwater of the South.
24-inch Scientologist. Here we go.
I mean, he must be doing something right now. The Real American Beer is the official beer of the White House. So
No, it's the official WWE beer too, right? Isn't it on?
Yeah, it's WWE sponsored beer. Yeah. That's right, brother. I knew it.
It kind of
It's,
looks like
it's no longer it's no longer in the ring, and by the way, Prime is no longer being sponsored in the ring anymore. I thought that was going to go for a while. It's gone,
brother.
Really?
Because Real American Beer.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the American beer was on the Rumble, right?
Kids should drink Real American Beer.
Or was
It's
it on
fine.
Raw? I don't remember.
No, but
I thought
Dave's
I
been
saw-
saying the Prime went from having the only logo to now no presence in ring at all. So they obviously didn't have to re-up or whatever.
And which is weird
Yeah.
because Logan now is fucking almost not full time. It's full time for him, but he's like back in the mix, which is weird.
They still have the
Yeah, I
Prime
remember.
station, I think, next to the. Or did they not? I don't know.
I didn't see it on Raw.
they probably raised the price. They're like, if you want it solo, it's going to be you're going to have to pony up some more dough.
Yeah. Like, oh, good test for that commercial. Now it's going to be $9 million a week.
Now,
Real American Beer, 12-pack, brothers, $99.99, brother. Nobody has a better
Cost me
deal.
what, brother? Holy fuck! Get that out of that ring now, brother.
Yeah, he was gone by Rumble. It was like Intuit had 2 spots and someone else had 2 spots. It
Get rid
was
of that.
yeah.
You can get rid of the tax stuff. Get that out of here.
You sure I said 50%, Jack?
Well, they're
I'll take
trying.
Hogan's
They're
American
trying.
ad over that shit. Oh, brother, we've been going for an hour and 8 minutes, brother.
Oh, brother, a nice test. This is a
And-
test
We
live.
need a couple
And we've all been canceled. We've all been canceled. It's official.
To summarize everything, Royal Rumble is what you make it. I hate teenagers and 20-year-olds wrestling fans because they're shit.
Watch us on
And,
YouTube. We have 5 years of episodes and reviews and legacies
Our
and
wrestling-
unscripted. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
No, you got it.
Our wrestling podcast on YouTube.
Fuck the system.
Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, all that good stuff.
Real player, MySpace, your mom's house.
Where are we going to see everyone at, Craig?
You guys are
In the
MySpace,
water.
right?
We'll see you at the match.
On Twitch.